Testing, testing, testing. Test, test. Okay, cool. Boom, 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 boom. I think possibly this is working. Test, test. Hey, cool. Well, that is fantastic. Okay. Do. Okay. Well, looks like I got one watching, so that's definitely a good sign, unless I count as one. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane. Seems like it was way too loud before. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane. Seems like it was way too loud before. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane. Seems like it was way too loud before. I think that's quieter. It's hard to tell though. Ah, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane. Seems like it was way too loud before. I think that's quieter. It's hard to tell though. Ah, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane. Seems like it was way too loud before. I think that's quieter. It's hard to tell though. Ah, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna fuck around with the mic a little bit to make sure it's not insane.
Why do I have an endless?
Seems like it was way too loud before. Let's just try that. Okay, whatever. Seems like it was way too loud before. Let's just try that. Okay, whatever. It was way too loud before. Let's just try that. Okay, whatever. It was way too loud before. Let's just try that. Okay, whatever. I still don't understand why I'm in an endless loop of audio. It was way too loud before. Let's just try that. Okay, whatever. I still don't understand why I'm in an endless loop around audio. It was way too loud before. Let's just try that. Okay, whatever. I still don't understand why I'm in an endless loop around audio. It was way too loud before. Like, seriously, putting me in a loop? I don't understand. I still don't understand why I'm in an endless loop around audio. It was way too loud. Oh, this might be why. Possibly. Let's try that. Maybe. No, that's not what I want. The audio. It was way too loud. Oh, this might be why. Possibly. Okay, let's try that. Test that out. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Okay. That's bizarre. Okay, alright. Seems like it's all good in the hood. Stream is good. Cool. That'll be worth testing out later. Okay. Did y'all make it in yet? Internet or trash? Trash our internet. Let's see if we got an endless loop here or nah. Let's see if we got an endless loop here or nah. Oh, that's so weird the way that works. Let's see if we got an endless loop here or nah. Oh, why does it do that? That's so funky. That's so weird the way that works. Okay. I'm just gonna deal with that. Just gonna fucking deal. Whatever the fuck. Oh, I need to try this also. Okay, so I got that. And okay. Let's try. Haha. Okay, cool. Display web page on the internet over local file and a common user for just not allow us to allow. Sweet. Map name, surface, zoom. That's fine. Okay, so it's doesn't allow you to interact with it at all. Okay. I gotcha. Window. Chrome. Sweet. Chrome. Yep. That's what I want. Dashboard. I do not want that. Google Hands. Nope. It's weird though. Okay. I don't know why that one's not showing up. It shows my mouse. Guess it just doesn't like. Probably. Nope, won't render that either. Go figure. Okay, yep, so that hides that, and then... Yep. Okay. That's cool. So that should be there. Display capture. Oh. Okay. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. So, do that, and then... Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh my god! I know, I was entertaining myself. Hey, cool, cool, cool. Okay, so, assuming that you can still hear okay, and there's not horrible pauses in quality, then hopefully you could help me test out the level. The mic level, that is. Because when I was playing back my own stuff before, the mic was way too loud, and it was picking up like every little fucking thing that came out of my mouth, which is not incredibly attractive, so hopefully it's better now. So if Discord is working the way that it should too, it should also show that I'm streaming there, which I believe will give out the link. And if Alex's black ass ever gets over and back to me, we can check that out as well. Ah, cool. Okay. I think I dialed down the mic by about half. Yeah, I did. I cut it in half from where it was, so I guess I was redlining before. Now I seem to be somewhere right in the middle of the green zone, so it should be okay. Cool. All right. Um. Well, I have the world map up, and I made it scrollable as well as everything else. Oh man, so yeah, assuming that your internet is good, you should see things at my level of quality, which is pretty fantastic actually. So that's pretty neat. Uh, yeah, okay. So let's see, Alex. Still active, message still unread as of half an hour ago. Must have gotten girlfriend aggro. God damn it. What a loser. So, the reason why I am back in good old Chancellor over here, I almost called it Aldersley, that's funny. That was the Goldilocks zone, yeah, right. Um, yeah, the reason I'm back over in Chancellor is because I was doing a revitalization of the farms and stuff nearby. Not to mention, this is where Mercy and Austin spawned in. So once they saw some things, it was kind of like a cool level of like, oh man, this is really cool and everything like that. And they saw like the shittiest part of the city, which is the docks, because they're unfinished and they have been for far too long, and all of that's a copy paste nightmare. So like if they started there and were just like, oh, this is so cool, and then they immediately just like fucked off in that direction, having seen almost nothing else. So I knew that I needed to come back and do some desperate revitalization of the old stuff. But yeah, So that is what that is all about. That's why I've been over here. Yeah, the girlfriend aggro is strong. It sure is. I'm trying to keep in mind that this isn't this is delayed a little bit, but basically what I wanted to show you is I'm over here, obviously, and they started to build over here. Now, you'll notice right off the bat, if you can see that okay, hopefully I'll zoom in regardless, but there's a lot of shit going on here. And my initial reaction was, oh fuck, I've gotten a bunch of griefers into my server. But not entirely the case, not exactly what's happening. But yeah, let's just say that one of them is a pro tier builder, and the other one is doing her best. So you can kind of tell which one's which, but I added some appropriate markers to mark their stuff. So the idea that they want to incorporate based off of the lore and stuff that I laid down for my server is they want to build the first dungeon, and they want to build a big uh basically dungeon tower kind of thing. I don't remember all the intimate details. It was a bad delay. Oh, damn. When you mean delay, is it like lag delay, or is it just like a 10-second delay? Because a 10-second delay is pretty standard. Because I'm getting the same thing. If I unmute my audio on the live stream, I'm about 10 seconds behind. Let's see, where did she put hers? There it is. That is the unfortunate truth of streaming, if you're not aware, is that audio is just going to be about 10 seconds behind, 10 or 15 actually, I think it is. So it's just a thing, unfortunately. But it does solve some of the issues we were having before, hopefully, if that's the only problem. But assuming it is, I will continue. Um, I keep forgetting too that I have the world map in this tiny little box, so hopefully this isn't like horrible. Looks okay. I could blow it up, but whatever. I'm not a pro tier streamer. I'm new. Don't tease me, guys. This is my first YouTube video. Don't tease me. 30 seconds? Jesus. I didn't think it was that bad. Damn. Well, hopefully it doesn't make things horrible. Maybe I'll just not respond to your comments specifically. That way you can just kind of see what's going on. But I don't know. You let me know. I just might give you a very delayed response. Who knows? We'll see. Um, but that aside, so tower dungeon type thing there, and that is one thing that they are working on. But also, I was pleasantly surprised to see this nice little inn that the more skilled one put down, and that was pretty fantastic. So I guess I will fly over there and kind of show you what happened. So obviously you've been around Chancellor a couple times, and all this is in desperate need of a revitalization. There's so much more that I can do with this now. My quality, I want to say that I've gone up another tier in quality even since like the last time that we built. I don't know, you can be the judge of that, but I have definitely improved a lot of things, like going back through Chancellor and Eminence. Even in some cases I've gone back and looked at stuff and been like, oh, I can do something way better with that. So that's what I decided to start working on. I got to a point where, oh yeah, you haven't seen almost any of the work that I've done in Moraine. So it's almost finished actually. So that was part of the reason why I decided to switch it up and work on revitalizing some stuff. But yeah, as you can see, this is the tower that they were working on. Um, very, very, very much under construction right now. It's very, very much a monstrosity at this point, but they are working on getting a redstone door activated. I'm not sure exactly what they want it to do, but it looks like they probably just want to get the doors set up so that they just open when you hit the lever, which is easy enough. But yeah, it's a tall boy, and they have some stuff set up on the side. But anyway, yeah, they haven't worked on this in a little while, but that is just potentially what could be the first dungeon. I'm going to work with them a little bit on that because one of them, their quality standards is pretty good. Fine, don't talk to me. Yeah. And the other one is a little bit better. So you will probably recognize a few discernible features in this that look very much like the theme of the build. So I was pleasantly surprised to see this little gem when I got home. So I don't know how long it took her to work on this, but you'll notice that the theme of it, this is very much akin to something that I would build. So I was very happy to pour it into what I thought was going to be that white tower, which I've kind of been spying on from above and looking at. But I got this instead. I didn't even know this existed, so I marked it as soon as I could. But she called it the Red Hood Inn and Tavern, which is kind of a coincidence, actually, because I just watched Little Red Hood the other night for the first time, which, not the best movie in the world, by the way, but it exists. But anyway, she put a table in. She got, like, some mounted crossbows on the wall, which is pretty great. Campfire, fireplace, checks out pretty well. She's got, like, a little crop out front, maybe to brew some hops or whatever. Then upstairs you got the fire up here too. I like the rug. My first thought was like it needs to have like a armchair in front of it, but that is that. Looks like maybe a little reading area. I like how she put icons in the frames too. That's something that I've seen done a lot. Look at that! Look at that little tiny bed. That's adorable. Boop, 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 boop. What time is it? Time for bed. Anyway, so this is kind of cool too. This could be like a little floor mat for like a doggo or something. Little doggo. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, she even got the bunk bed set up. Not exactly the way that I would have done it, but I mean pretty much. So yeah, definite experience there. I didn't even notice that before. Could definitely stand to move the ladder a little bit so this action doesn't happen. Oh, wow. She had to have gone inside one of my buildings. Either that or we are definitely checking out the same tutorials and stuff like that. And you got a little balcony. Pretty standard stuff. Oh, can't fly out that way. Troll. I'm just gonna take my happy ass right the fuck downstairs. Oh. I fucking thought. And the lamppost the exact same way I would have set it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, same height and everything. Yeah. So either she got some inspiration from something that I made or something that somebody else made. Either way, though, I am a big fan. So kudos to her for that. So yeah. I thought she had actually started work on this village over here too, but as I flew closer, I realized it was a naturally spawned one. But she said that she did want to make it her own thing, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's what they're working on. So, I guess I'll show you some of the revitalized farm in that case. Let's see. No, what the fuck did I do? Oh. D is for Lysdexia. I put the meat on the outside of that sandwich. So, nothing over here got touched for the most part. So this is all pretty much the way it's been forever. I did update a bunch of the icon sets. So, there's a lot more map icons now. It's probably pretty hard to see, but they are there. So you can see like all the doors. So this one only has the one gate. So that's the main gate. But then you got like the different districts and stuff like that. So that should help you point out things from a distance. Eminence, same thing. I updated that as well. Added some more icons at other places. Like I didn't even have your little forest village marked down here initially, so that's marked now. And then Vale, and then some other things that you will see shortly. I don't know how often you've made the journey up from Chancellor through Eminence through to your village and then beyond, but you might remember the farmland. This is one of the first areas I traveled up and down like a lot when I was first creating. Chancellor. So it is one that I definitely needed to change because it's been here for so long. But as you can see here, the ruins of that one house of yours that did make it, unfortunately, wouldn't be incredibly hard to rebuild. A lot of the exterior is still there to show that it did exist at one point, but that is that. But everything else beyond that is pretty new. I added lots of torches. You can see the standard bushes for fences instead of everything else before. I took one before and after screenshot, but the before wasn't anything too crazy. I still need to do some detailing on a lot of this stuff, but I changed out a lot of the materials. Just to give you an idea, before this was basically, it was just all this wood. There were no support structures. There was no thatched roofing. There was no cobblestone base or anything like that. Um, all just basically one linear fence that just didn't have. There's no bends. There was no randomness or anything to it. And so I did that to all the buildings. So support structures, everything there, thatched roofing, same thing. So added lamps in, added more lamp posts all the way down the road, more trees on the side, which I'm still waiting for some of these to actually get a little bit taller so that they're not in the way of the road. But I've been gradually just replacing them as I've gone up and down. But the big one, you can definitely see on the world map too. This is one that you can see more than anything. But I'm trying to segregate the farms more so that they look better from above. This one is still one that I'm working on. So if you can just remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but like there were uniform water pathways all the way down, and this one was especially fucking horrible because you'd have ones that would like start up there and then go downhill into the pond, and it's like because fuck gravity, I guess, or I don't know, whatever. And yeah, so those have all been taken out, so you can still see like the lines where I replanted crops, and those will all, I'll wait for those all to grow in, and then also I've been kind of randomly taking out some crops, and I'll go in and plant in some other stuff. Oh, this windmill's new. So there's this patch of grass, and there's no hill, there's no fencing or no shrubs or anything along here. So that's all new now. So that was there, and then there's a very very obvious place that a windmill needed to be. So I made a new version of that. I copied some features from that one, but I modified it a little bit to make it a little bit better. And so yeah, that's there. Um, one of the things I was going to do tonight if I had time is I was going to make some farmland over here and then just like separate this all out so there's more like a quilt cross stitch pattern, but that'll come later. These fuckers take forever to grow. You have to be in like within like 6 chunks of it, otherwise they will just not fill in. So this does nothing when I'm not here. So that's a bitch. So I'm probably just going to work on a crop over there. And then one thing I did the other night was I literally just like I hovered over one of these farms, not this one, but one like over there or something. I just like hit escape, minimized Minecraft, and went to bed because it just took so fucking long. So that might be what I end up doing later. But this got changed a little bit. The road was widened out. Like if you didn't travel up and down this every single day like I did for a while, you probably won't notice any of these differences. But trust me, they're there. Um, That'll probably get widened out later. I'm probably gonna put a statue here because this is like the first time the road turns to like into the long road that goes straight to Chancellor. So I'll probably have some sort of statue there or like some sort of plaque that commemorates it. Nice scenic spot for it, right in front of the waterfall too. So um, I'll probably change this. Oh, this definitely needs to be changed. There's way too much uniformity. So I'm either going to make these rounder corrals or maybe add some more farms in here. That little carrot farm there is all brand new. I went back through the medieval farm tutorial to try to get some more tips and stuff like that. And I was reminded that wheat is the primary crop, and they usually grow it with the 3 crop rotation technique. So, which means I need to add an empty field over there. Actually, come to think of it, so that the nutrients could revitalize in the soil. But carrots and beets and other things like that were usually grown in separate lines. So you'd have something more like this versus just long lines of wheat. Because the way that you thresh wheat, you could have long lines and you wouldn't have to really walk between it too much. Whereas with carrots and other small plants like that, potatoes, that kind of thing, you'd have to do that, put them in lines so that you could actually maintain them. But that was that. So basically before this is kind of where like the everything cut off and there was nothing over here until the river. Just gonna catch up on the comments in case you said anything. I know, your poor kennel house. Seriously. Yeah, those kind of changed. Those were on stilts before, and I realized it looked really fucking dumb, so I changed it. This is all new over here, so you might remember, you probably saw this a few times. I had like the mine track here, and there was like a stable and nothing else. That's changed now, so I'll show you what that is in a second. But here's another farmhouse that got added. Here's a new farm that got added. Here's some carrots in a row. I'm gonna expand that out a little bit and give it a nice round cutoff, like right around there or something. Grain silo, I'm gonna add some more grain silos out that way because there's almost none. And then wells and extra features and stuff like that. More trees, I'm waiting to get big and strong so that they don't block the road, and we'll work with those later. So this is the barracks and foreman's office for the mine. I was working on this, I think, last night, yesterday. Yes, I did. So not done, but I got the outside kind of fleshed out the way I wanted to. So the mine cart will actually terminate like right here, like or many of them will, and then they can offload it and then put it all in the storage room back here. And then they got like kind of like the workman's side entrance, and this is just kind of like the lobby area. And then up top here, this will be the barracks where they can stay overnight, and then upstairs is more of like, you know, the foreman's actual house. So you go upstairs, you got like the private balcony where you can oversee, and then up top you'd have like just another room for like kiddos or whatever, because you probably have a family. That makes sense. Over here, the totally not modeled after Forsaken Inn in Lotro. Added more detail there. Probably add some. Probably. Oh, I definitely need a well in here somewhere. But all the farmers decided to congregate down here because they're idiots. And yeah, here's the inside. Probably do some more modifications of this. The fireplace definitely needs to change. That looks shitty as hell. Probably add a basement too, because I was thinking I'd like inns that look like the Forsaken Inn in Lotro. I do. I like all of my roadside inns to look like them. I have literally 2 in my server. This one, and then that ruin you might remember on the way to your village. So probably dig down and put a basement in there. Totally makes sense because you've got a logical space for a basement to expand the foundations. Once again, I did this fucking foundational shit. It's like I was so afraid to touch the ground. The floor is lava. So I'm definitely going to change that. So this, right, okay, so everything past here is what I'm real proud of, because this is all brand spanking new. So, worked on a lot of that. And then, over the bridge here, this was all wilderness before. So, I got, this is going to be a quarry. This is going to be actually built into the ground, like round quarry. I have never built one of those in my server. I've always wanted to, so I got some ideas for that, but it's going to be right here. There'll be lots of stones and stuff set up on the side so that you can see how all these places got all their fucking stone, because there's a lot of shit. So that's going to be that. It totally makes sense. I think it's even stony hills in the biome. Mountains. Somewhere around here I think there was one, but yeah, so that's a very, very natural spot for a quarry. So got a farm here. And then got a nice pretty fencing, natural bush shrubbery, that kind of jazz up into Red Fort here. And then Red Fort, I kind of showed you this a little bit at one point. Still working on it from a while ago. It's just one of those things. Just another one of my infamous 90% done projects that stays 90% done for fucking ever, because not that I have ADD, but I definitely do Thomas Jefferson approach it all. How y'all doing? I guess wolves live here now. That's pretty sweet. Okay, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But yeah, so that's that. And then this was literally the last thing I worked on last night. I was watching the last episode of the Orville, and so I just pumped out a house real quick and then set up what was going to be the farm. So there'll be crops there, crops there, crops there. Probably have that road over there continue along the riverside there. So you, oh, it'd be nice to have like a fishing hut somewhere around there too, like right there. So I'll probably finish that. That'll go all the way around and maybe terminate somewhere over there, maybe continue on. because there's this little house over here that I don't know if you've ever seen, but it's one of the very first houses I actually put out in the wild out here before I even had the farmland set up over there. So that's just been chilling over there, not doing anything, but it's there, it's existed, and it's mostly the same as everything else. So I'm glad to see that my builds have been consistent. Just gotta thatch that roof and do a few other things, add a well, but yeah. So Vale is over there. You probably remember Vale. So that will be a town. There'll probably be some woodcutters out there. So this will be like the last farm before it gets real intense with the woods over there. So quarry's there. So and the main road to Eminence is there. So I realized as I was going this way, okay, I probably want to put a farm here. So this will be freshly cut wood, and this will all be gone, so that we can have a farm along the main road. But this I worked on exclusively all last night. There was nothing here last night, but this is going to be one of the first dungeon ruins that I want to build. So it doesn't have a name yet, but this is what it'll look like when you come in, for the most part. I've literally just put blocks on top of other blocks. I haven't dug out anything or moved in anything yet, but this is what it looks like so far. So this would have been the main audience chamber. Potential throne room here. I kind of like the idea. Initially, it was going to be up here, but I kind of like the idea of having it like right here. And then maybe there would have been like a giant glass window behind it that's all completely broken out, and then that dips down into here, so you can just get up and access it from up this way. And then there'll be access to the basement, which is where the main dungeon is going to be. I was talking with a couple of the aforementioned people that also were in my server. I want them to help me build a big dungeon under this. I want to start really getting into my philosophy of this world is thousands, if not tens of thousands of years old. So they're in God knows what age, and they can't remember anything about their past because of lore reasons. So I want this to be an example of just like built ruin on top of ruin on top of ruin. So ideally it'll start out like this, and then you'll have like the dungeon proper, and then you'll have like another kind of like crumble thing beneath that, maybe a different architecture, maybe elven, which we haven't seen yet at all anywhere. Think like Ayleid ruins or something like that. Or is it Ayleid or Ayleid? I forget in the Elder Scrolls, but maybe something like that. The White Tower that they're building way over yonder kind of inspired me for that, and I knew I wanted to build elven ruins in here. I just knew that I didn't want them anywhere near because of more lore reasons. But yeah, so that's all I have so far for that. Probably gonna have the walls extend all the way out to about there, and come all the way around here. I'll have some like an old ruined workshop and other things inside. But this might be the first example of a biome edit I'm gonna do also, and I may actually put some Lothro style dread on top of it, i.e. you get to somewhere within the castle walls, and then it starts to fade into the end biome, possibly, thinking about it. So this would be a great place to do it, because you just like go down from the hill, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, forest, everything's all good in the hood, that's cool, whatever. But then again, as soon as you enter the walls, it's like, why is everything dark now? I gotta play a little homage to my favorite MMO in the world. So that is my idea for that. Can I see Discord? Yes. Okay. Here, I'll reply to you at Discord to make it easy. Make sure you're even in here. You are. Cool. Alex, you're missing out on the good shit. You're missing out on that good. Where are you at, hon? Oh, man. It'd be cool if the map would let you auto-follow. do 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 do. Oops. Ooh, I need to fix that right meow. Ah, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, add a note to self there for sure. Oh, shit. Oh, that sucks. Buffering every 5 seconds. Damn. Wait. Okay. I had to think for a second if that was better or not. It's not, but, well. Again, better or no? Bad, yes. Better, maybe. Well, what's this little hidden gem here? Why have I not noticed this before? I just skip it every time I've gone by? Oh. I got an idea for that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Interesting. I have yet to see this at night. Ooh. Okay, okay. Foreboding. And then. Video quality to potato. Got it. Okay, okay. Alright. So ideally, you should be seeing and hearing everything alright at this point, hopefully. Let me know otherwise. Okay. needs to be changed. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that I worked on over there. Um, yeah, eventually at some point I'm gonna redo all the farms here too. These ones shouldn't be as hard because I kind of had to use natural contours anyway in the design, so it's pretty much just like taking out some of the excessive, um, not even excessive irrigation, but some of the far too streamlined irrigation techniques and modify those a little bit. Uh, yeah, making consistent. I'm probably I have a house style that I'm going to use for the farmhouses over in Alamarain. So I'm probably gonna change up these a little bit too. I kind of experimented with like what a modernized house would look like. So I still use like the cobblestone, so they still use stone like in Eminence over there. But I also like gave it kind of a similar theme. So there's a little bit more stone than you'd see in a standard house, but they still use cheaper materials. So that's like the one house that I built like this, and I might do the rest like it, but that was from forever ago, so it's a thing that might still happen. But yep, that's that. You've seen all this. It's still just a blaring foundation with nothing on it. This is still probably going to be more of a fort later instead of a quarry. Yep, just all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, geez. Another massive project right here. So lots more farm here, and this is all going to be redone too. I didn't think that doing Aldersley farms, or God, I said Aldersley again, the Chancellor farms were going to be too much of a headache, but it did end up taking all day, and it's still not done. But I mean, hopefully it's the last pass I'll ever have to do on it because it's the way that I've seen every high quality build ever do it. So that should be the last time I ever have to do it. Obviously, you know what this is. Nothing too crazy here. There's the Forsaken Inn, totally not Forsaken in ruin. There's the cobblestone bridges I'm really proud of because the contour and the archway is like perfect, I think. You can have too much of a good thing, but in this case, no. And then more of that. The only dark oak forest that any of my roads go through, weirdly enough. Here is the last thing that you ever worked on. I wish you could see like the placed on date because this is probably going to say a century ago at this point. So if you're trying to fit the theme of my server and everything being really fucking old, then good on you. So far so good. And then here's everything here. These idiots are still trying to swim in the streams, so that's great. Nothing's changed here. That's cool. Yeah, I dig that. It's nice to have like a nice open plaza somewhere. I'd like to do that in one of my cities, but plazas like that didn't really exist in medieval times. As far as like city plazas, these kind for like villas and stuff, yeah, definitely, sure. Those are great. Love those. Vineyard. When my friend Anthony was flying over here, he was looking at everything. The one thing that he said that he like really stood out to him was the vineyard. He didn't really comment on like the greenhouse or the maze or the villa or anything. He's just like, yeah, man, I really like that vineyard. And I was like, thanks, dude. I think it stands out too. I didn't want to like take the thunder away from you. But I was like, yeah, I worked on that. But also look at this, and he's like, yeah, it's real good. But like that vineyard though, man. I was like, yep, I did that. Thank you. So more standard farms here. There is a bitch of a thing that I've been trying to do, and with Moraine, I can show you on the map. It's just the sheer distance it is away from a lot of the cities, or at least like the obstacles in the way, more than anything, is going to be like the main problem. I'll shift my map here a little bit. If you can see it well enough. I mean, fuck it, I'll just blow it up real quick. So over here obviously is Ebenset. So if you remember me saying it before, no, sorry about your buffer. Worst case scenario, I think YouTube will auto save this video, so you can always seek back if you have to. So this may not catch up until like I've already ended the stream by like 10-20 minutes, but hey, at least we can say we got there at some point. But anyway, so you might remember me saying before that your beast castle was located almost directly east of Ebenset. So if you go through, basically you're going through like 4 different biomes if you go directly from Ebenset. So you got like a swamp, a forest, a swamp again, and then like grassland, and then the coast to get to Rensteel, which was the working title. And then so that would be like the closest road to get to there. And then on top of that, you have to go all the way up through here, follow the coast all the way around, and then all the way over here to get to Moraine. And there's the Pirate Cove in the middle that we were working on. I was working on, I guess. Yeah, but that is that's the bitch of that. So here is Ebenset again. You've seen this all before, but it is there. You may not have seen it in all of its glory, since your laptop likes to be a potato. Excuse me while I sneeze half a brain out. Obviously you've seen the road further north that way and how far it goes. Oh my god, Anthony again, when he came through here, like I showed him all this, and he was like, oh, really cool. Like he flew over everything, like with near total disregard for how much time I put into all of it. And he's looking at all of it, just kind of flying over, like, okay. And then of course the fucker, knowing him, he's over here, whatever, and he zeroes in on the one structure that I haven't done anything with over here, and he's like, you know what my favorite thing is, man? This one right here. This one's my favorite. I think, all the work that you put out there is great, but everything that you did, like, it really shows in this one right here. And I'm just like, I just stopped for a second. I was like, you're a motherfucker, you know that? You know how many months I put into just this city and the surrounding farmland? And you gotta zero in on the one building that I just haven't decided what to do with. Like, what a little bitch. Anyway. So that is that. I taught him, I nerded out with him about a bunch of things. So I told him about, like, crop rotation, and told him what a flying buttress was for the first time. He was trying to describe these things to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, you're talking about the flying buttresses, right? He's like, yeah, the things on the side there. And I was like, yeah. And I taught him about flying buttresses, and thanks to me, he now knows what machiculations are, and corbels, and the other word that I'm going to forget that's on part of the battlement. Yeah, whatever. The part you stand behind. Already forgot the word, but there you have it. I knew it at one point, I promise. So, if you remember, Ebenset's already been back there a few seconds ago. So, we're still traveling. So, if I were to put a road, even a direct, straight line of road, I would still be traveling. Oh, Jesus, I don't even see myself in the mini-map yet. Oh, there it is. Oh, my God. That's fucking insanity. That's got to be like 2 kilometers at least. I didn't check where I started, but where are we at on X? We went from like -200 or to -2,000, I think it was. It's several kilometers. That's That's fucking rad. So stoked for that. So, I don't know if I'm going to build the road from Ebenset to Rensteel or what's going to happen exactly, but that is at this moment the closest road, so, you know, here's the progress. Anyway, so, oh, there we go, okay. So this is a village on the outset of Rensteel. Might be incorporated someday, but until then, here is the dock I was working on before I swapped over my efforts to Moraine. So dock is still here, it still exists. Got the boats I was working on, which have been rebuilt, schematicized, and fully incorporated into Moraine. Here's the old Beast Castle, as you remember. That could actually serve as a bridge. You know, even if nothing else makes the cut over here, that'd still be a pretty good spot for a bridge. Were those people? Those weren't. Sheep, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So that is all that there. Man, that clock tower is so adorable now compared to the other ones that I have. I got a compliment on my final version of the clock tower. I think that was the one I posted in my High Command channel. I think it was finished then, pretty sure. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, cool. So, follow the coastline. And this is the, finally, proper coast. Which I still am not sure if it's actually an ocean or an inner sea. As large as it is, the way that the map is, I'll have to show you at some point. But just the way that the map is, I still have no earthly idea if it's the actual ocean or not. It's so fucking weird, this map. Everything is just like a huge inlet in some cases. It's very bizarre. But as far as I can tell, this is the closest thing to an ocean I've seen yet. Still could be an inner sea. But so off the coast here is the island. This is where the Pirates Cove stuff was started. So got a nice shipwreck to start it off naturally, and then potentially where the skull is gonna go there, and then the little hidden dockside village that I'm working on. Still work in progress, obviously. Okay, so I did start a road in the countryside. Oh, cool. There's a little ruin there. Some little toidles. Sweet. So far, far over here. This is the coast is way over there. So the road, if there ever was one, would be over that way, and then I'd have to go all the way around here. So if you can see where, hopefully you can follow along where I'm at on the map. But this will all be farmland eventually for Moraine. But the road that is eventually going to connect to it is around here somewhere. Okay, yeah, so I started cutting down trees and building the road, so I kind of have an idea of where it's going to be in the wilderness. I actually probably rebooted the road about 2 or 3 times because I just didn't like the way that it drew the line. Now I remember that you didn't want me to spoil the tower, so I can go about this one or two ways because I know that the shot you've seen the most is from the coast, so I almost just want to wait for you and see if you want to see it from the front gate or if you want to come in from the coast that you're so accustomed to seeing. Actually, this will be a good way to test the delay. I shall await your answer. Go in through the front door or zoom over to the coast where I laid down the founding stone and go from there. I just checked your chat and YouTube. Boy, those gazebos sure look nice. Yeah, I showed all those off too. I made sure that everyone could see all the gazebo goodness. Do 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 do. Discord's nice enough to tell you streamer mode is enabled. Stay safe, friend. I'm not sure exactly what it does. I'll have to look it up, but I think it just doesn't allow Discord to be broadcast, or it takes it off of your streamer software so you don't accidentally broadcast it. I'm not sure exactly. But streamer software is pretty sweet like that from what I've seen so far. It gives you like all kinds of access to what all you can possibly stream. So it's pretty hard to fuck up. It's not like you can just randomly pop open a window and it's like, haha, displaying this one now. You douchebag. In a lot of cases, you have to manually set it up. So it's like, I want to allow game capture of this exe file, and then I want to allow this browser page to be broadcasted. So if you got any embarrassing tabs or shit like that, it doesn't by default broadcast those. So you have time to hide your shit if you're good enough about it, if you got enough skills. So that's pretty cool. Oh, let's see what you're going to reply on first. Discord says that you are not here. YouTube says that you are still here, but no comments. You said, oh geez, might as well. To what, I don't know. Enable live chat, enable slow mode, automatically blocks spammers. My vote would probably be to go in through the main gate if it was up to me, just because I know you've seen the coast many times, but to see how it all connects would probably be a good idea. Just because everything you'll see at the gate will be brand new. In other news, where the fuck is Alex? At this point, I'm going to have to repeat pretty much 100% of what I said. I think I'm just going to make him watch the video. Or I'll just do a Discord call stream and I'll just give him like the TLDR version of it. Still no response from you. Do. God, this is like the world's worst buffer. I don't know what the delay is because there's too many different factors in it, but okay. Hopefully that was oh my god, the suspense is killing me, go through the front door, not the oh my god, just go already. This lag is horrible, do something. You got it. Thumbs up. Boom. Lag is atrocious. Okay. I guess maybe it's best if I just pretend like you're not even here at this point. Alright. So, welcome to Moraine. Fuck it, we'll go through street level. So, as I said a few times, the general theme of the city was tower houses. Obviously, it's built on the coast too, so yeah, I know, right? Make sure to call him a bitch a few more times. I will. So lots and lots of tower houses. I could go on and on about the theme of it, but essentially, I wanted to have a lot of tall houses that could get the sea air inside. So I kind of wanted, I sort of had the idea of like a lot of them, like you could initially think of the city as like maybe they started out as like a bunch of stone dwellings, but then like over time, like they either the stone got built up or the cheaper houses they just like fixated wooden structures on top of it, like a lot of old medieval structures did. So the general theme of the city is that they wanted to build up so they could all see the ocean and smell the sea air, and so in a lot of cases you just have like open windows with shutters. This is actually the fruit of another research topic that I discovered while I was doing some work. I realized another thing that I'm going to have to go through and do with Chancellor again is that having windows in medieval times was a luxury, meaning that it was rare that any sort of house up to during a certain time period at least would actually even have windows. So in cities like this, it would make sense that there'd be shutters on a lot of the windows, and then on because they didn't have any glass, and then on other ones that did have glass, there wouldn't be any real reason for shutters. So it wouldn't be like a modern version of it where you'd have glass and shutters, because shutters were just there for kind of aesthetic purposes more than anything. They'd have the functional purpose on these ones. So yeah. So yeah, the main gate was there. So the great thing about Moraine is that it's surrounded by three sides with water. So this is let's see, which direction am I in? This is the west dock. So I don't have any boats over here, but there will be. But this is the west dock here. So um, I forgot, I was showing Anthony this. You haven't seen this yet, but the way that these dock cranes work is that the boats would come in on sea level, and then they'd be able to moor here or wherever along the dock, and then offload all their cargo. And then because it's built on a cliff, these cranes would actually hoist the cargo up into street level. And there's actually some buildings in medieval times that would work this way. And there's a famous dock crane in Witcher 3 that was taken from a city in Norway, I want to say, where basically it did something like this. So there's a lot of cases where that actually has worked in the real world. So I incorporated that quite a bit. So these are basically just like these are supposed to emulate nets. So I should probably do cobwebs there. That'd be a great idea. Oh, I should. I totally should. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, those are basically either baskets and or nets. So in that case, these are baskets, but I think I'll probably add some nets in. But I got warehouses for them that are not. There's nothing in them right now. There's no storage whatsoever. Here would be the dock master for this dock, and then more storage there, and then lots and lots of cliffside stairs so that people could walk up. Same here, same over there. So there'd be plenty of space to offload cargo, and then walk up to the docks, and then not have to worry about carrying shit up the stairs because the cranes would take care of it all. So that is all of that there. And so here is the chapel for the city. No name for it yet. There's a nice little scenic overlook here, so you can see ships as they enter, and I'll probably set up like some beacons or something on the rocks out there. That'd be pretty cool. Um, yeah. Still working on the tower and stuff there, the wall, so you can ignore that. But took a little bit of inspiration from some of the cathedrals in Oblivion for this one. So you got like a nice glass dome and skylights in the ceiling. And so if you ever played Oblivion, I don't think there's any setup like this in Skyrim, but if you ever played Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, they would set up a lot of their openings like this. So you have 3 doors in, then you have like a nice tall vaulted ceiling like that, and then you'd have, you know, big pillars to support the structure because it's all stone. And then in Oblivion, they had all the altars set up on the sides, and then they usually have like an altar in the back here. Um, I made this a little bit bigger than the Oblivion Cathedral, so you'd actually have a way up to the 2nd level, and then a 3rd level, and then you'd have like windows there. So this will probably, I don't know what'll be up here. I could potentially put some rooms up here. Actually, that's a really good idea. I could put rooms up here so that monks and priests and priestesses and things like that could stay there. And then you got the top level balcony, which is pretty great. And then the skylight, so it'll let the moonlight in at night and sunlight during the daytime. That's all that there. Oh yeah, so you might remember the big fountain that I was working on. Checking your Discord. You're easily 4 minutes behind. Oh jeez. Well, you get there eventually, but yeah, that sucks. I used to have internet that was that bad. I'm sure I told you about it. Yeah, so I have kind of like a Poseidon kind of statue going on here. Um, so I use that as like part of the theme, kind of like a merman sort of thing going on there. So probably have a little bit more of that in the theme throughout the city. Uh, yep, a little bit of a cemetery there along the dock. Let's see, this is south, right? Yep. So here is part of the south dock here. You got a ship docked there. More cranes on the side, stairs leading up and around. Large open ocean here, so more of the south docks, more cranes here. So big dock there before it wraps around to the other side. And then lots and lots of different paths up, either side paths or paths to the main street. This goes up on top of the rock face here. This is a big loading bay here, so this would be one of the, probably another dockmaster's house here. This one's not finished, but it was one that I was working on. This is like the main row of houses that I haven't finished yet because of stuff I was working on. But yeah, let's see. This building here, this is a big government building that I made, so you can see like a lot. You can see a lot of the tower houses. Oh, here's the main clock tower, by the way, too. So from just about every important point in the city, you can see this clock tower. So you got this is the main inn here. That's what that is. And then you got like the main gate houses here. From most of them, you can see this face of it. And then you got the dock here. You can see the face from that side. And then you got the temple from the main square. If you look high enough or look around the corner, you can see it from there too. So, oh, and the market. The market can see this face too. And it's got like a nice path leading up to it. Flowered hill for a little bit of green in this sea of stone. So that's nice there. This is the main market here. Probably change it up a little bit, but yeah, for now it works. Oh yeah, about this building though. So everything's got like it's a pretty distinct flavor to it, as you can see. This I built because if you remember, I posted in Discord at one point. I had this really big piece of land that I was like, well, I could do another row of houses like that, but it's like I've already got like these big buildings all in a line here. I've got the tower that you haven't seen yet, but there it is. And then I got the inn here, and then I just had this big row of land and nothing there. So I realized, okay, I should definitely have like another main building here so that all my government buildings are right in the middle of the city and they're right in a row. So that just happened to work out really well. So this is, I have no earthly idea what it is right now, but it is big and it is ready to be filled up with all kinds of things. My first thought, and the one I keep going back to, is library. My second thought is government building, although that might be more beneficial over there somewhere because that's a lot of where the seat of power is. But it's here. Don't know what it's gonna be used for yet, but it's there. Inside, it's pretty standard. It's got a staircase, goes straight up. It's got the landing, and then it goes up further. It's not done yet, obviously, but I got this kind of cool little pillar setup that I've been implementing in a lot of my builds, so the lighting sets up that way. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So go around this way. This is here is another. So this is over to the dock. This is the part of the city you've actually seen over here. So this is the, if I'm getting my directions right, this is the east dock. So this was the first dockside building that I ever built. So this is the main offloading facility. So all the main cargo comes through here. Then you got, of course, like the bigger ships are gonna be anchored here. And then you got the original clock tower that I built. I might actually buff it out a little bit to be like the big one. Although I like kind of having like smaller ones that are just, you know, they're there so that you can see the time from wherever you're at. But I like having the main one over there and having it like giving it the full radial dial and everything like that. So this will be the main, what's the word I'm looking for? Dockmaster? Yeah. I almost said shipwright. This is the main dockmaster's place. So you got the bell up top so they can ring a bell if there's a ship departing or coming in. Then, of course, you've seen all this. Ironically, still haven't done the fountain, but all the parts are in place there for it. Worked on a lot of the details for stuff here, so try to add in like as much greenery as I could. I had this kind of like cool little like gutter system worked out that kind of worked up to a point. I was thinking about doing some more stuff like that throughout the city, but that's the only spot that exists for now. Oh yeah, this is the inn. So the buttresses I just wanted to kind of put there just to see how they looked. I'm still debating whether I want to keep them there or not, but they exist there for the time being. Yeah, inside's pretty standard stuff you've all seen before. The layout's kind of interesting because it's taller than a lot of the inns I've made. So you got like a back porch here, and it's separated so that the common rabble won't get in, or patrons won't get in. First level, you got like your standard rooms. You got a nice little balcony so you can see down below. Obviously, the people that with the lowest coin would go there. And then this layer is kind of a chaos. This is the one that I had the most trouble with, but you got slightly bigger rooms here. Ugh. Oh yeah, and all of these, every level has their own balcony, as you probably saw from before, so probably have like chairs and stuff set up out there, some tables, but every floor has that. And this layer worked out much better than the one below it, so I'll probably take some inspiration from it, but these are another step up. These are basically almost house-sized rooms, so more coinage required for that. And then, let's see, this level. This is more of the same. Oh, I forgot. I was going to add some more low rent rooms at the bottom, so these actually all need to be moved up one level. Okay. So, if they get moved up. So this is actually going to exist on the level above it, but I think this is supposed to be the innkeeper's house. Yeah, so this would be the main room, and then you'd have all these side rooms, but this is technically supposed to be off limits to the patrons below. And then this is supposed to be the penthouse, I believe. Yes. So yeah, this actually would have been the first example of like a penthouse in an inn, because they just have so many levels. It's like, why not? And then storage up here. This is the top level. So all that is storage. And that is that. And from every level, you can see the clock tower, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. I'm going to cheat because I can. Alright, so that's the end. So, large row of houses there, not finished. But those will all be finished there, and it'll be nice and tightly locked, gridlock pattern. So from the market over this way, this one was pretty cool. I kind of had the idea that I wanted to incorporate more of this, but when I came over here initially, there was just like this almost entirely symmetrical hole in the ground, and the math checked out really well with the grid that I usually use. So I figured, okay, I should put something here. And then I realized, well, the theme is lots of water for the city, so let's put a fountain. So there's this nice little public fountain that you can go into, and after a hard day, you can just like walk through it, whatever, swim around, take a bath, whatever. It's all good. And then you got this nice little cul-de-sac kind of thing where you got like these call them apartments if you want to, but they're kind of like townhouses the way I have these set up. This is just the city is just kind of really um wow, words, totally had a brain fart. It's really oh god, what is the word? I keep wanting to say renovating, but it's not. But they're doing things that other cities have yet to even have a concept for, really. So they're kind of like the pioneers of like new layouts with cities and stuff like that. So this would be like the first example of like a townhouse kind of thing they have set up. So this kind of uses a different style of medieval too, where ground level is actually the cellar, and then the actual floor proper would be the level above it. So you can kind of be elevated just right off the bat, which is also another thing that buildings in bigger cities do sometimes. So that's that. Checking Discord to make sure you're not blowing up on me. Street level of Almarine. Oh, geez. That sucks. Hope that buffer gets better. Here's the main market, obviously. You saw this before. Nothing's changed much there. I was going to take a screenshot of about this shot right here at one point, just because of like the density and how the shutters and everything stuck out. Just, I don't know, this was like the quintessential, like this is where I knew that the city was looking right as far as like the design of it went. So this is probably like the densest part of the houses, because you got the main dock there, which goes up into the main market here, which is the most open space, and then that eventually goes up into the one of another. This is part of like the upper part of town, if you want to call it that. These are the biggest houses that I have with the most unique features, and then they have like their own little square and everything like that with flowers all lined up any spot they can squeeze them in at. So that's all that. And then the piece de la resistance, you have what did I call it? I had a name for it. Let me check real quick. Prismatic Tower is what I called it, although I was kind of sort of leaning towards the Prismarine Tower also. But this is the final product. Not final, I guess. I should never say that because my work is never done. But you see, you have the guards here with their sorcerer's staffs, all on guard there. And then you got nice big open door. Not really open per se, but potentially it could be. Then you got kind of the fusion of grass and rock. It's kind of just worked out that way, and I thought it looked kind of cool, so I'll probably maybe do something themed more like that way, maybe emulate like a light and dark sort of effect. But yeah, the inside is absolutely not fucking worked on at all, really, besides just making sure that the basic layout is there. But I got the yeah, got the inside. It's there. It exists in a fashion, and yeah. So basically it goes up to about this level here, where it's just got like really big open rooms, and then right about here is where you got the spiral that goes all the way up. So it just keeps going, and then here you have basically another landing, and then the tower gets smaller to support the weight of itself, and then you got another spiral. It keeps going. And I meticulously tried to get. I got the curvature right on all of these, the best of my ability. Not perfect in every case, as you can see, but for the most part. But that keeps going up and up and up and up and up. Then you got another landing there, and then from this point up, These are... The layout's not 100% agreed upon yet. I haven't fully decided what it's going to look like, but basically from this point up, this is going to be like the natural staircase cuts off. So from the inside, you basically have to have some other form or some other means of traveling it, traversing it. So I'm thinking kind of like maybe even like a Skyrim-esque like teleport system where you have to like stand on a magical pad and like float up, or I guess in this case I have an isolated staircase on the inside, so that would be the only way to get there from there. So that continues up on the inside, yep, all the way up there, and then eventually it comes to the top here. I had a floor laid out, but I decided I was gonna change it up a little bit, but the floor was originally there at the top, and then here would be it. If the top stays this way, it'll be a counseling chamber, or the council chamber rather, and yeah, and then you have full view of basically everything you could possibly want to see from the city, the whole city as well as beyond it, but that is that. Still might change it up a little bit. I was, like I said before, taking a lot of inspiration from that one picture, so things are always subject to change, but I like the way it turned out. So far, so good anyway. Once I lay out the interior, there's a lot of things that are prone to change. At one point, I had vines draped almost all the way down the entire structure. That was an interesting look, but I decided to modify that and just stick to the bottom level and let that kind of do its thing, and then coat the exterior walls in vines because a lot of other places in the city have the same effect on it. So I figured that made the more sense for now, and it didn't quite look right up there. It was kind of cool for a little while, but yeah, didn't quite fit. Didn't really make the cut. So I also had an aqueduct in the city at one point. It actually ran from... This was moved over actually here where the wall is, but I had an aqueduct running from here all the way down the middle of this road here, and then actually fed into the fountain. But as time went on, I realized I didn't like it too much. It looked pretty cool though, because like the water would naturally drip from the bottom here, so you could so the transition here, so just imagine it's in the middle of this road all the way down, so the transition from here to here was kind of cool because you could walk under it and like water would drip down and you'd have a little bit of shade and whatever, and that was pretty cool. But it just, I don't know, it didn't look quite right. I might still add an aqueduct in somewhere, but for now, basically the idea is just that the water comes from the aqueduct, which is actually behind this. I'll show you in a second, but it dips into here, forms a natural moat, and then it could easily be pushed in pipes throughout the rest of the city, like a standard city would. But yeah, that is that. So you have the bailey here, the inner bailey for the castle, and that's all pretty standard. This is all going to change. I was working heavily on this. This looked different a few days ago, but for now, the way that it works is the staircase goes up here, builds upon itself. That way, the road or pathway rather can loop naturally over to here. This was half the size before, and I'm going to shrink it by just a couple blocks on each side, so it's not huge, but it fits in just a little bit better there. But that will change, and then I have a little bit of inspirational work that I'm using for this, but the way that I had it laid out initially was that this side actually mirrored onto this side, so like you had the tower there that was there, and then the windows there and there, but like I just couldn't figure out how the fuck the layout was gonna work. I guess you did see this part when I was initially laying it out, but I don't know, I didn't end up liking it. So it looked kind of cool, but at the same time, it just didn't really work out as well as I'd hoped it would. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is probably going to make this the outer tower, and so they have like a nice open pathway in there, but you know, would be absolute murder for anyone trying to attack the castle that actually makes it up this high. And then you have the inner courtyard here, which is going to be lots and lots of green, so gardens, stables, probably private stables, like right there. Actually, that wouldn't make sense because I was going to put the stables down there. So no stables, but maybe like a smithy in the yard or something like that. but like lots of gardens, probably some vines on the side, stuff like that. So this will be nice and green. It won't be horribly concrete looking. But so the walls are kind of hard to describe because I'm going to do these differently than I've done any other castle for the most part. But these are going to be high outer walls on all around this here. So that just think the walls will be like around that right there, and the walls will actually be a working part of the castle too. So they'll double as walls and part of the castle, which will be pretty cool in a kind of unique way that I haven't done yet. And then of course the inner courtyard will be here, and then the main door will probably be around here, and then the hallway will actually go this way. Because before, kind of the problem I was having was you had like the hallway that went this way, and then you had like the big glass windows here that you could see out into the sea, which I'm actually still going to have, but they're just going to be up here somewhere. And it's actually going to be open air. So there's going to be pillars on the outside, and then glass on the inner part of the wall. So you'll have the open air on the outside, and then the inner wall here with the glass on it. Kind of like the way that I have the outer catwalk set up in Evan's set. So that'll still utilize the feature of the sea out there, but it'll look a lot better than before. And then there'll be a natural, just a straight hallway into the main castle area instead of having this weird kind of like loop thing going around where you start in one direction and then end up in another direction. I just didn't like it, so that'll be the main path, and then this is just going to be a side path like it always was, and that will connect. And then this over here, I can do whatever I want with this, just stack room on top of room on top of room in whatever way it works out. And then this will all come later. I don't know what all this will be, but there's plenty of space for many other things. Maybe just a really, really big garden. Could be just about anything. Who knows? But that's all of Moraine. Tis has grown quite a bit since just the little dock days when it was just about this, that, and this. So I pretty much just have to finish up this side of the city, and then we should be in good shape. I'm also going to add a lot more ships out there. I have a couple schematics saved, so I got, like I said before, like I got the main boats, and I have, you know, the Frostwick flags there, the green ones, and then I have a All-Marine ship there, and then I think I have, there's another one from Frostwick. That one right there would be from Chancellor, the red flag. None from Evidence, obviously, because it is landlocked, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely makes for some very good bird's eye view shots. Shitty thing about having only 16 chunk renders, if I go up any higher than this, the chunks below me will start to unload, but it's times like this though where I hear people talk about like potentially them adding in like other birds into the game because they have all kinds of fish now. So it'd be good to have on top of the aquatic update like an avian update, so you could have like seagulls that would like be on the coast and do whatever they do. Maybe some other types of birds, but I thought about spawning in a bunch of tropical birds. The only thing that would kind of suck about that is the fact that there's so much ice around. It's all cold ocean, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to have tropical birds here, or any birds really, except for maybe seagulls. So seagulls would be great, but yeah, I don't know. I might spawn a few birds in just because it would totally make sense for the city. I think right over here is kind of like my favorite example of some of the tower houses you can have, simply because I really got in the swing of things over here. So like, I think if I were to pick one house in the city to live in, it'd probably be this one, just because it's like exactly the example of a tower house that I wanted. It's just like it just fits perfectly. It's right on the coast. and by the dock. And so like from the bottom, it looks good. It's good vertical real estate. And then the way it's stacked, and the way I have the stairs set up on the inside, it doesn't waste a lot of space on the landings when it comes up. I don't think. I don't think this one does. Nope. Yep. The way I have it laid out works pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. It just fits. It just looks good. So I'd probably pick that one. Oh, and of course what I didn't do, I didn't put shutters up here, so they can't even smell the ocean air. What the hell is wrong with me? I'll fix that when I remember to. I'll add that to my list. And then you have examples like this where I wasn't quite figuring out where I was with that yet, so that'll have to change too, but one thing at a time. So I guess the only big things left besides finishing that, just finish the walls, finish the fountain, eventually flesh out the inside of the tower, and then the last big thing will be this, which will actually be probably the most colossal stone thing that I have made to date as far as like area. Like I just want it to be just like this huge ass stone structure fitting on this mountain, because I mean it's got the support. There's lots and lots and lots of stone beneath it, so you could just potentially just build like this ginormous thing if you wanted to that just like has a shit ton of land mass. I mean, with all the rocky outcroppings there's plenty of potential for like all kinds of towers and stuff too, if I wanted to do that. But yeah, I got this shot that I'm using for inspiration that I'll probably take a few features from and try to emulate that as best I can, because like I said, it's a build style I haven't really used a whole lot. Oh, this is the reservoir I was talking about. I actually went out of my way to actually build a wall and make a reservoir, something I've never done before. So once again, All Marine is paving the way for future technology. So reservoir, and then for ideally there'd be like a drain somewhere where excess water could drain through automatically, and then it would just boop right up there. So that is that. Let's see how caught up you are. As you say, are you still alive at this point? Yes. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Little Easter egg over here. That was Anthony's doing. Like I said before, no motivation whatsoever. That's cool though. He was happy to see everything. Hold the phone. What is that now? Shit, did I lie? Maybe he did have motivation. Well, fuck me. I'm okay with that. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, I love finding surprises like that. I had no idea that was there until just now. Did he take inspiration from stuff that I was building? I hope so. That's a good spot to build something. Got like a little protective part in there. Nice. Let's see. What is that? That is negative 3,800, negative 3,000. Okay. 3,800, 3,000? I think was right. See how close or far I was in a second. Oh, I think I fucked up. Negative 38. Oh, negative both. That's why. Okay. Ooh, that was real close. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Just my luck, though. I understand why people hate leaving the terrain alone. It's probably fine. Oh, okay, so he's trying to carve it into the wall. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, I'll give him that. I think he was trying to do that all in creative too. No world edit or anything like that. Okay, that's fine, buddy. I see you. Hi, Anthony. What a kidder. So, yeah, he opened up a little bit of this terrain over here, this bay that I had not seen yet. I don't think ever. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I think he opened up all that terrain, so that's all new. So I should mark this, actually. We'll let him modify it later. Yeah, right about there should be fine. D marker, add. Oh, what's his name now? Missed a Gone, I think was right. Double check that. Mystic Gone, yeah. Okay. ID marker 1. There you go, buddy. You're number 1. Congratulations. See what you got to work with over here. Cold ocean, deep cold ocean. Damn, so much cold everywhere. I've seen like one coral reef down south, but lots and lots of cold shit all around that I've seen. I think I'd almost prefer it though, because, I don't know. There's nothing I hate more than running into a desert. I really fucking hate the desert biome. It's just ugly. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, if I want to build an Egyptian city, it's fine, but just like, I'd much rather run into like grassland upon grassland upon grassland rather than like just running into like another fucking desert when I'm not ready for it. It's so annoying. Let's see. So that will pretty much reveal everything up to Evan's set. Cool. I'll just keep going that way. So large inner sea. Lots of mountains coming up. At one point I'm going to have to plot out where that road's going to go. I think I'll just focus on improving what I have right now. Worry about that later. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow is better. That'd be great. Oh, wow. This looked very square on the map. I didn't believe it, but here we are. Gravel hills, gotta love them. I never really thought of a good use for those other than like try to cover up all the gravel so it doesn't look like it's gravel. I don't know what else to do with it. Well, this is interesting. Whoa. Spoopy. Oh, scary noises. Huh. Got some forest. More and more forest. This is probably about as far as I've seen over from Ebenset. This is all west of it at the moment. Yeah, I remember seeing all this. Yeah, okay. So Horsefield's there, then you got the forest, then the dark, yeah, dark wooded forest is there. And then right after that, boom. Oh, there's some other shit over here I didn't finish either. I definitely need to do like a full farm repass when I can. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna port back to probably the... God, I have so many fucking icons here now. It's good though. It's good to mark shit like that. Shows that things are actually happening. Negative 400, negative 1100. I'll probably just stop the stream now so that you can finish buffering and then I can stop talking to myself. So yeah, assuming you finally get to this part, congratulations, you made it. And I'll see you in Discord. Bye!